for just a few minutes. And I want to take a text today about 3 keys to contentment. And I mentioned just a few minutes ago that, you find so many people in this world that are looking for an answer. They're looking for some type of peace and contentment in their spirit, in their mind, in their heart, in their soul. And many times I encounter Christians who are, in some ways, they are searching for contentment. And they're searching for something and they just can't seem to find an answer. And they seem to be, in some ways, many times I see a lot of people, and simply, I'll just be blunt with you, they're miserable. And there's nothing worse than being a miserable Christian. When the joy and the happiness and the peace that you once enjoyed and the walk that you once had with Christ is not what it once was. And you find, and I tell you what, folks, it don't take you long, just a little bit of a conversation with a few people, and you'll find out real quick. You'll find out real quick that they're not a very happy person. They're not very content, and you think, wow. And I've even mentioned this before, sometimes you meet those people that, and just, if you dwell on it too long, they'd almost suck the energy right out of you. But there's joy and there's peace and there's contentment in Jesus. The Apostle Paul is writing here about finding that contentment and being content in whatever circumstance that you're in. We're going to read here Philippians chapter 4, and we're going to begin at verse number 10. And the word says, "But I rejoice in the Lord greatly, that now at the last your care of me hath flourished again, wherein you were also careful, but you lacked opportunity. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me." One key here, we begin to look at the first one. Contentment comes by remembering the Lord's providence in your life. What is providence? Providence is simply this: the protective care of God on your life. When we begin to look at this in verse number 10, the Apostle Paul speaks here and he says, in order to find this contentment, he reminds us that we got to remember how God has looked over and cared over us in every circumstance of our lives. I think back over my lifetime to the times that I could have left this world. Times that I knew that I could have left it. And I think about times that probably I never even had an inkling that my life could have left like that. I was watching the news yesterday, and they were showing of a tragic accident in Knoxville, Tennessee, down on Emory Road, where 3 people lost their lives like that. A guy crossed the lanes speeding and hit head-on into an elderly couple's vehicle, killing both of them instantly, throwing this young man from his vehicle and killing him immediately. Now I think about the times that I've traveled down the highways, and who knows who could have passed me and the condition of that person. Maybe the times that I thought, well, that was a close one. I've had people cross into the lane, driving the wrong lane. Somehow they missed me. I know what it was. It was the providence of God. It was Him looking over me and sparing me yet another time. The times that, I think back to when I was, you teenagers, you young folks, just forgive the pastor for this one, when I was a dumb teenager. And one of these days when you get over, you will think back and say, whew, how did I get by that? Many times, and the old saying, watch this. Watch me do this. Hey guys, check this out. And somehow, I didn't manage to die. I think back to things that me and my brother did. Motorcycles and things up in the mountains and things we do. We climb this mountain, we go up this strip pit, and we say, yeah, I can climb that. Watch this. And I think back, wow, how did we survive it? By the providence of the Almighty God who watched out over me, and He's watched out over you many times. The protective care of God. When He's looked out over you, and many times you didn't realize exactly the situation, where you were at, what was going on, but God was in the midst and He took care of you. I think a lot of that many times, I'll touch on this, is by the fervent prayer of mothers. I had a mother that was a praying mother. My daddy was a praying man. But my mother prayed for her kids all the time, prayed at night. And many times when we was out places maybe where Mom didn't know where we was at. And we sure didn't want Mom to know where we was at. But my mother was praying, Lord, wherever my boys are, wherever my daughter is, look out over them. Lord, take care of them, get them back home. Because of the providence of my Lord. I'm here today. I'm standing here today.